began like any other quiet afternoon on the river. But beneath the surface, something ancient was watching. Hippos do not roar, they do not chase, but when their space is violated, their reaction is swift and unstoppable. Lions, crocodiles, even rhinos have learned to respect a creature that doesn't hunt, but never backs down. "15 times, hippos shocked the wild, nature's most dominant herbivore. As the golden light of dusk dances across an African river, a half-submerged creature appears to slumber.
He keeps them cool in the baking heat.
But beneath that calm lies a biting force of up to 2,000 psi and jaws that can open 150 degrees wide, enough to crush a crocodile's skull. The hippopotamus, an herbivore, yet never weak. It doesn't hunt, but when threatened or challenged, its reaction is explosive. From silty riverbanks to sun-baked plains, this seemingly peaceful giant proves time and again. Whether defending calves, fending off intruders, or keeping order within its group, it acts with a ferocity few dare provoke. In the blazing heart of the African wilderness, a mother hippo and her calf rest in the shallows, comforted by the illusion of safety. But this river is ruled not by peace, but by power. A lioness approaches the water's edge, curious, bold, and unaware that she stepped into the domain of one of Africa's most territorial giants. The hippo reacts instantly, mouth agape, over 4 feet wide, in a charge that sends the lioness fleeing. But in that moment of distraction, a far older threat seizes its chance. A crocodile hidden beneath the surface strikes. The calf is caught. In seconds, the cries echo across the water, and the herd responds. Each adult hippo weighs over 3,000 pounds, more than enough to crush bone and armor. They arrive not as individuals, but as a wall of muscle and fury. The crocodile thrashes, but there is no escape. Dozens of tusked jaws close in. The water explodes in chaos. And then, silence. Balance has been restored. Not through vengeance, but through instinct. Beneath the slow-moving river, a cluster of crocodiles bask in the sun, unaware they're crossing a line. A mother hippo notices. Over 4,000 pounds of muscle begin to move. Not fast, but with unshakable purpose. No roar, just one step after another. The tension rises. Some crocs retreat, others freeze. But what's more striking is her calves. They follow closely, not with fangs, but with quiet resolve. Learning to hold the riverbank by presence alone. In most waters, crocodiles reign. But where hippos dwell, every predator knows when to back away. A sudden splash breaks the stillness. A wildebeest herd drinks from the river under a blistering sun. One calf is snatched and dragged into the current by a crocodile's ambush. Water thrashes, panic erupts. Then, from below the surface, a massive shape rises. A hippo. It didn't come to save. It doesn't care who's right or wrong. For the hippo, chaos is a threat to the sacred order of its waters. It charges, forcing the croc to retreat. And sometimes, the calf escapes. Sometimes it doesn't. But one thing is always clear. When a hippo intervenes, the rules change. This river has one ruler, and it does not share its throne. Amid the swirling current, a zebra is caught, its hind leg locked in the jaws of a crocodile. It thrashes desperately, and not far away, a hippo is watching. In many instances, hippos have been seen charging in, pushing crocodiles away, unintentionally saving the prey. But this time, it's different. As it approaches, the hippo doesn't move toward the crocodile, but toward the zebra. It may be reacting to an unfamiliar creature in its space, or simply acting out of agitation in a cramped territory. Under the pressure of limited space and competition for water, behavior can shift beyond the norm. And in that moment, even the role of protector can change. Cornered at the water's edge, the antelope struggles in despair, surrounded by a pack of wild dogs. Splashes rise, barking echoes. Every escape route seems sealed. Then, suddenly, a disruption. A hippo charges in, like a storm of fury. The dogs scatter, leaving behind a fleeting chance at survival. It seems like a rescue, but nature offers no guarantees. Moments later, the very hippo turns, slamming into the antelope and tossing it onto the riverbank. This time, the wild dogs don't hesitate. In the wild, strength doesn't always mean salvation. Sometimes the path to survival demands outlasting both predator and supposed protector. As summer grips the land, the river recedes. Cracked banks and thirsty paw prints mark the scene. A pride of lions approaches, not to hunt, but to drink. They move carefully, but below the surface, eyes remain open. A hippo rises, not thirsty, just aware, and that's enough. In seconds, it surges from the shallows, dust exploding beneath its charge. The lions flinch, one turns, the others follow. No bites, no blood, no need. The message is clear. When a hippo rises, so do the boundaries no predator dares cross. On the cracked plains under the scorching midday sun, a full-grown hippo lies motionless, like a boulder resting on scorched earth. A lioness approaches quietly, eyes filled with intent. A reflexive bite locks onto her neck, and within moments, she's on the ground. Though she escapes, the damage is done. In a damp hollow where both hippos and rhinos gather for water, one hippo draws too close. Not aggressive, but unaware. Rhinos are seldom confrontational, but when their space is threatened, their horns speak loudly. The hippo, armed with a jaw that crushes at over 2,000 psi, believes it holds the advantage, but confidence blinds.
Like that aggressive though, it's almost like they're just playing.
With a single downward thrust, the rhino strikes. The hippo backs away, challenge forgotten. There's no fight, just a reminder. In Africa, power isn't in the bite, but in knowing when not to use it. With numbers behind it, the hippo advances without hesitation. The rhino, calm, powerful, chooses to retreat. In the wild, personal strength is fearsome, but unity, that's what forces respect. On the cracked riverbank, a leopard, one of the fastest predators on land, capable of reaching 60 miles per hour, spots an easy target, a young hippo. It strikes fast, but within seconds the water stirs. The mother hippo emerges, a 3,000-pound wall of muscle and fury. The chase begins. The leopard bolts, but no speed can outrun a mother's rage. Then, one slip, one wrong step, and fate closes in. The hippo crashes down, her massive body slamming into the leopard. In the wild, speed may be an advantage, but the instinct to protect one's young, that's a force of nature. Not every danger comes from the outside. Within hippopods, males compete for dominance, and sometimes the cost is devastating. A newly dominant male charges, not at a rival, but at a calf barely a month old, not out of hunger, not to claim space, but to erase the legacy of the one he defeated. This is infanticide, a common but brutal survival tactic among mammals. By eliminating offspring, the male triggers the females to enter estrus sooner, increasing his chances of siring the next generation. Cruel by human standards, but in nature, it's the ruthless logic of reproductive strategy.
Swamp.
Bush,
Dry and
lions
disappear.
prowl, and predators wait in every shadow.
Some cool in the baking heat. And
It is the hippopotamus,
This turned into
silent
an
herbivore,
attack, and the mother-
that commands the greatest caution. They do not hunt, but when territory is crossed, when calves are threatened, or when the river order is disturbed, hippos do not negotiate. Beneath the still mud, behind half-closed eyes, lies ancient, primal power, quiet. But unmistakable. And perhaps that is why the hippo, a creature that rarely seeks conflict, it is still respected as a force of nature. Not by what it destroys, but by what it refuses to yield.